let's just focus on the here and now, and that is this drop that's currently on the floor. Okay, this is now recording number 3. So I think each one of these have now gotten shorter, so honestly, just be glad, because this probably would have been a much longer rant than whatever this hopefully turns out to be, and isn't going to become even shorter with a 4th take. Okay. Anyway. So I'm going to just try to do this right the first time and not have to stumble over myself 6 times, because I've now got 3 takes at this. I'm Nick. I am the... well, everything behind Shattered Concepts. There's stumble number 1. I am the designer, maker, all that good stuff. Now, I am going to start off, just get right into it and say, the Shattered drop has been kind of held off for now. I know a lot of you have the Shattered already, and that's fantastic. Hopefully they're treating you well. The remaining units were kind of having some issues, so I reached out to the manufacturer, and I'm kind of getting them worked out with them right now, so that's why they're off the website. There will be 10 more trainers and 20 more live blades, including the 15 serialized ones, when those come back in stock. That said, for now, they're off the website. Don't stress, they will be back hopefully soon. Now, what this video is actually about. Shattered Concepts as a brand is likely going to have to take a break for a little while. There's a lot of stuff going on in my personal life that is going to kind of take place over the next like 2 years. But in this instance, the reason the break is only going to pertain to this one thing, and it should. And that one thing is that I'm moving. I don't know if it's going to be into this house that we are looking at. It could be not, but what I do know for certain is I am going to be moving. Sooner rather than later. I've held off talking about it as long as I could have, but it's getting more and more likely that it'll be sooner rather than later. So I will be moving, and that is bad for some things personally, but it's not all bad. I, growing up as a kid, was moving a lot. I never really stayed in one spot. I was constantly being moved. So it does kind of suck that the one spot I've now kind of settled into, I'm moving. But such is life. It's fine. I do still live with my parents at this time. Love them to death. Half this would not be possible without them. But I am going to be moving because they are looking to move to a retirement home. In other words, they're trying to downsize. So once the move starts, I'm going to have to help them pack and basically help them downsize. I'm going to be getting my own actual proper space rather than just living in a room with them. Not with them. But just, I'm going to having my own space. Like its own little, I don't even know what you want to call it, like in-law suite. So I'll be having my own space, which I'll be upgrading. That's great for me. So the good though, aside from just trying to ignore the bad, the good for me is that with this, I've been cooped up in a garage all this time. And it's not even my garage, it's my dad's. He's a mechanic. He's done a lot of work on cars for basically all of his life. And so he has a lot of tools and equipment. A lot of shelves with chemicals and that kind of stuff. I've had no space. I know a lot of you know in the past that I did have a bench with a micro CNC and bead blaster. While that was the case, that's no longer, and now there's a shelf in its place with some more mainly lawn equipment. So with that, actually, sorry, I was checking if it was still recording because I'm not looking to take a fourth take at this. Anyway, yeah, so with that said, I have been having to basically do everything within about half a bench space and a 8-foot folding table. while I'm not complaining, it's got me this far. It's been great. It is a little tedious because I always have to break things down and put them back up for each drop. Not a big deal, just more of a complaint, just like, you know, wah ambulance. I'm just, yeah, it's just annoying because it's just a lot to set up and take down. But I leave it up for like a couple for the entire drop, and then I just take it down when I'm done. Anodizing, it's a little more annoying because it takes like 5-10 minutes to anodize, just for me to take about 10-15 minutes to set it up. But the actual good about this move, I will be in a workshop that, to my understanding, will be about double the size of the garage. His intention is going to have, he's going to have his half, I'll have more of my half for Shattered, or even just like a quarter. I just need an area. But anyway, what is good about this is it does allow me to actually have space. We are going to have this thing built, and we intend to make it have the proper wiring needed. The garage, if you knew I had the bead blaster, I never got to use it. We bought an air compressor off a neighbor that would have worked, but 15 amp breaker couldn't run the thing. We couldn't just switch to a 20 amp because the wiring wasn't set for 20. And arguably, could that have led to problems? Well, maybe. Some people would have just said yellow, who cares? But I didn't do that. So with this place, this workshop, we are going to have it set up with 20 amp and an actual air compressor, like a good one as well. Now, that will mean that titanium units, I should actually be able to bead blast and even do tumbling myself, like stonewash. And that's what I want to do. That'll be one more step into doing as much as I can myself, because I can already titanium anodize, and I can tune, assemble, create the packaging, and all that good stuff. The only thing, I want to have the machinists in China, who I have to outsource to at the time, all I want them to do is machine. I can do the rest. But as of now, I've not been able to do that. So as time goes on, I'm hoping to bring more and more stuff here locally to myself to do, for myself to do, and leave only the machining up to them until I'm actually able to have the space and afford a machine. That can be a very long time away, who knows? Yeah, so there's no way to tell. I am hoping that it isn't that far away, but there's no way for me to predict the future. Sorry, not a fortune teller. But that is just one more step to being able to be my own maker. Right now, it's just unfortunate that I even have to outsource, but I gotta start somewhere, and I hope you guys understand that. But that said, I do have one piece of good news for you guys. Upon this drop hopefully being finished out before I actually have to move and begin that moving process, the next drop will be another Shattered trainer drop. Not trainer, sorry, just Shattered in general drop of aluminum. But at the same time, I should be receiving my prototypes, because I might be doing multiple of the titanium Shattered. And if that is the case, I will have some extra units that I intend to sell. Depending on when this exactly is, I might actually have the equipment to do stone washing, bead blasting, and all that stuff, meaning I'll be able to do it entirely myself. Also meaning that those 5 units I might be able to custom make. If anyone wants to buy them, I don't mind doing. If someone wants like a stone washed handle rather than anodized, I can do so. So more about that down the line. But that's something I do want to do. But that will happen upon moving. For now, let's just focus on the here and now, and that is this drop that's currently on the floor. Floor as in grass. What is grass? Don't know. That is my first time touching it in about 3 weeks. So, yep. But yeah, I mean, on a serious note, thank you guys for everything, for supporting me. I really do hope you understand that there probably will be some little bit of time before the next drop, depending on if I even can get through this current drop. But we'll have to just see. I still intend to stay active on social media as much as I can. If you have any questions, issues with your balisongs, whatever, I should hopefully still be around and be able to answer messages, but if I'm slightly delayed, that is why. But yeah, there's just a lot going on in my life personally, so I hope you guys can understand that. That said though, on a personal video, which should be on my personal flipping account, I got something a little special right here that I will be getting my thoughts on. It is in my pocket. Have you noticed I'm not prepared? Isn't that just... That was not there before. Isn't that just sick? So, stay tuned.